What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another run here with Sunday Test Drive on ATS. Today's truck, Freightliner Coronado. Nice truck. I love how these trucks look in the real world, especially with these long running boards on them and everything. They look very luxurious from the outside, in my opinion. And the inside is as well, which I'll get to here in a minute. But I do like how these trucks look. They have the classic look to them, but also kind of a refined, sophisticated kind of look. Unlike, your 379s or your 389s or even your W900s, where they're kind of, bulky, brute kind of things. This one is a little more refined, and it's more of a luxury, the old style Cadillacs, the big boats. That's what it brings to my mind here. But a nicely done Coronado has always been something I can really respect. Now, with this mod here, with this truck, there aren't too many options. This isn't a Volvo or a Peterbilt 389 option whore for this one. You do have your basic tires and rims and lug nuts and stuff like that. You can make some changes to the bumper, but you can't really add too much lights. These fog lights were already there. You can't replace those. I did add the posts on the side, and that was pretty much it. There is a light bar you can put on top, but it looks like something off a Pilot car, so I didn't use that one. You do have the option for smoke, and this is a non-DEF truck, so smoke could, be coming out of these. But the way these trucks are, you're not going to see smoke out of them. These aren't trucks that you're going to be rolling coal with or anything. They're high-end trucks, so you don't buy a Mercedes or a BMW or an Audi just to blow black smoke out the back or something like that. So the same thing is going to go here with this one for me. Obviously, you can do whatever you want. I did not activate the smoke on this one, so I cannot attest to how it looks and how it performs. But not a whole lot of options on this one, unfortunately. You got the choice between the running boards here or taking those off and putting a step back there where that back box is. You have a choice in mud flaps, but you have to be at a certain angle for that option to show up. If you go all the way to the back, you can't see it. I had to be like right here before the circle showed up. That's one thing to keep in mind with any mod that you guys are working on with the trucks. Make sure you do a whole 360 around it, because just because it doesn't show up over here doesn't mean it's not going to show up over here or back there or whatever. So always go around the truck a couple of times. Make sure you check out every option there is, because sometimes, depending on your angle, that option isn't going to show up. But still a nice looking truck. And when we get on the road here, we're going to get to my only main gripe about this truck, except for the interior. Now, I could do without the leopard print there. You do have another interior option. And let me recenter this. I've took the second option. The other one is, I think, more of a darker gray slate tone to it. But this is more the luxurious option for it. But, yeah, I could do without those curtains. I really don't. Yeah, can we change that, please? But we can't. Not a whole lot of options here interior-wise, and if the screen looks weird, it is, because I have my seat all the way back. When you first get in this truck, let me get over to it, you're basically sitting all the way up here, which, me personally, I don't like. That means I really have to turn my head all the way over just to see the light, or the mirrors, which I kind of don't want to do. So, I adjust the seat back. F4, third page, hit S, I adjust the seat back. It makes it easier for me to turn my head and see the mirrors without having to go all the way. It is a little bit of annoying, though. I am noticing the seat. I am basically inside the seat, but, I can live with that. But, of course, you guys are going to adjust it how you want. Underneath the hood is a Cat C15 500, and I'm also hooked up to an Eaton Fuller 18-speed with retarder. My only other gripe about this is the engine brake. It sounds like they took the engine brake out of the W900, and that one sucks on the stock wise, so it's on this one. I tried the Cummins motor as well as the Detroit diesel motor, or DD as they have it labeled in this one. Both of them have it, so I went with the motor that actually sounds pretty good. And on the outside, this one doesn't sound too bad. So, sounds pretty nice. So, go ahead and rock with the Cat. As you saw today as well, cargo here is a CSX intermodal 53-foot container. And the destination is, we're in San Diego. We're going up to Bakersfield, Sunshine Crops, dropping off some tires up there for those guys. This is a fast run, so I'm really running out of time here. I've got 7 hours on the clock to get there. I've got 8 hours left to do it. So less talking, more driving, shall we? It is dawn, so I'm going to roll out with the headlights on as well, but not for long. It is a very, in my short time driving this truck, the gearing is very close. I don't think I'm going to have any big issues going down the highway with it. And for some reason, I slipped out of gear. Okay. I don't think I'm going to have any issues going down the highway with it, but, you know, if I were to go into Nevada, I might run into a problem. But the transmission choices are not as plentiful as it is right now for the 389 for me. Yeah, there's that horrible freaking exhaust. These 40, 55, or 53-foot containers. I believe it was Jazzy Cat that put them in. Nicely done, nicely done. FedEx trucks going out for delivery. There's 4 of them right there. I mean, it is 6 o'clock in the morning, so yeah, it is about the time they're going to be on the road. Another Coronado down there on the left. Off. I can't stand that damn thing. Get back to the cab here. The yellow I decided to go with was a change of pace. I know I'm going to end up doing some red ones or some black ones. Now in this truck as well, it could be because of the motor, but I can hear that whine of the motor. And in the real world, when you're driving, you know, you'll understand your truck as well. You'll be able to tell when a good shift point is just from hearing the motor. And you hear that raspy sound almost developing in the motor, and that's when I know it's time for me to shift. I'll point it out here. Nope, didn't get there. Right there. There it is. I know right there, that's usually the point where I need to start shifting, or getting ready to. Nicely laid out interior though, it does look nice. I really am enjoying this, even though it does lack with options. You know, the look of this interior is nice, aside from the curtain. And it's been years since I've been behind the wheel of a Freightliner. When I was driving them, the interior layout didn't look like this, so... And I don't even know if this is true to form now with the layouts, but it is a nicely done interior here. Wow, we're 65 down here? I'm on I-5 and it's 80? What? I'm in California. How is that possible? Something's not right. Back down to 55. Okay, there we go. Am I gonna have to pass you? Yeah, I think I am. And I had someone comment as well, you know, about the hood mirrors that I use. I have them on the Pete, and I have them on just about everything else I drive, and I prefer the hood mirrors. I really enjoy driving with them because they have really helped me out in a lot of different situations and tight situations as well. You know, you drive around the city of Chicago, you go down some of the narrower streets, and even down main avenues like Western Ave and things like that. You know, they've saved my butt many times. You know, being able to see just how close I'm getting, because even if you have the mirror out the side door right there, that you know, not just the big mirror there, but there's usually, and some trucks have this option, there's a mirror that you can put right above the door, right out the passenger side door there. And I have found that doesn't really help me out much either. But these hood mirrors on the corners really do. And so I can see just how close I am to that car or that construction barrier that I'm trying to drive down. And because, you know, if you guys have driven in big cities, people usually are not very nice when it comes to the yielding. And so, you know, I'll be all the way over on, you know, I'll demonstrate here. I'm all, you know, I'll put myself all the way over on the line just to avoid whatever's over there. And, you know, that person will still be right there next to the line, kind of freaking out a little bit. Oh my God, he's moving over on me. Well, no, that's not the case. I'm just getting over so I don't, you know, damage the truck or damage the car that's next to me or something like that. So having them have really is a nice little bonus. And it's an extra tool to see within those blind spots that trucks notoriously have. And that's no joke. They do have blind spots. That's why if you're driving down the highway behind a truck, you might see him swerve like this. You know, he'll go over to the shoulder a little bit and then cut back. And that's not always because he's distracted. He's trying to see who's behind him. Truckers normally do not like having people sit behind them and draft them. They understand why people are back there, but they normally don't like that because they don't know who it is that's back there. And so many states have used undercover cars or whatnot, you know, for police reasons. Also, there is still the possibility of load being tampered with. I have never really heard of that happening while on the road, but some drivers, you know, they'll still be a little paranoid about that. But in general, many of them, for whatever the reason, just don't like having people tailgate right behind them. They would rather have you get out and go around them and pass them. Now, they'll stay there if there's another truck on their tail. But even some of them, I've had in my own experience, don't like having other trucks on their tail. You know, there are just a select few drivers out there that do not like having anyone behind them, period. They'd rather have no one behind them. They'd be rather behind someone else instead of that person being behind them. And that's a very select few. So just keep that in mind next time you guys are out driving around and, you know, you see a truck swerving over to the right shoulder and then cutting back. You know, he might not be distracting people. I mean, he could be, don't get me wrong. You know, there's a lot of guys out there that are like that, but there are, you know, one other option to keep in mind is, well, he's looking to see who's behind him. Now, I've had him stay at the same pace, the same speed and everything, and not change. And then I've had other guys that will slow down on me and their way of shaking me loose. You know, they're going to drop down below the speed limit. All right, that should get you to pass me because you don't want to do 45. You want to continue doing 55. So if a truck suddenly slows down because of that, he drops to 55 or 50, it's probably because he's trying to shake you loose from behind him. He doesn't want you there. Because that, again, is a blind spot as well. Great, I'm on the hill, which I don't want to be on. And with this game, it is difficult to feather out the throttle and the clutch. Very smooth riding truck. I mean, I haven't gone down a lot of, you know, the highway isn't all that bumpy, but this is a smooth riding truck, and watching it drive around bobtail when I was picking up this load, it's nice to see the rear axles go up and down with the bumps and whatnot. That's been one thing I've been very pleased with this game overall, is the way the wheels and the axles work with the road. You know, they just don't float. Everything is functional when it comes to gravity or physics and things like that. So, very nice to see that. I wish we could just have some real car carriers and not these straight truck versions. But unfortunately with those, they're really only going to be good for quick trips, because most I mean, yeah, you can use the stock car carrier like what they have in the game, but you know, those are usually for transfers. You know, you're not going to see new cars on those all the time unless someone's under contract. Majority of the time when you see someone driving down the road with a regular truck and a car carrier on the back end, it's because he's moving contracted cars, people that were purchased cars that were purchased at auction, and now they're going somewhere else to be sold. at a dealership, or damaged cars for that matter as well. I've seen a lot of car carriers that have cars that look like they've been pulled out of a boneyard, and they're being moved. So I have seen Audis and things like that on the back of those same type of car carriers, but more often than not, it's transporting. It's cars that are being transported from one, maybe an auction to a dealer or storage. They're transporting stored cars from one side of the country to the other, which happens quite often too. Someone moves, or maybe it's a military member. They don't want to. They left their car in a storage unit over in Jersey, and now they're going to have it transported for them down to Texas or California or something. That happens quite often as well. People, job transfers, things like that. Get off my corner. It was a flip today on what truck I was going to use as well. It was going to be this Freightliner or the T800, and I kind of wanted to use the T800, but I also wanted to use this one, and obviously I can't use both of them. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do is next week's episode will be the T800. I promise you guys that. I will get that all set up, and next week's Sunday test drive is going to be the T800. What I'm hauling, I don't know. What axle configuration I'm going to use, I don't know. You guys will just have to tune in and find out for that one. But at least you guys know what the truck is going to be. Even in yellow, that truck still looks good. Oh, I had it and I missed it. Let's straighten it out anyway. Alrighty, there we go. Parked and all set. So, there you guys have it. The Freightliner Coronado. Nice truck. Probably not something I'm going to use as a daily driver, but it is going to stay within my stables. Let me turn the lights off. There we go. Yeah, even with the parking lights on, the headlights come on too. That sucks. Oh well. What are you going to do, right? But there you have it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you liked the mod. Tune in for others next week. Until then, take it easy.